Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to my stream for today. This is Intro to Web Development Part 3. I see a lot of y'all in the chat. Thank you for joining. Hello. Hello. Nice to see all of y'all here. Super sorry about the delay. I don't know what was going on with my bus. I think this is why you don't book budget travel. I was just like on the side of the road. They were like, yeah, the bus's brakes aren't working anymore, so you're gonna have to wait for another bus. And I was like, okay. So it's like the sweltering heat. It's like 99, there's like 96 degrees out here. And they were like, yeah, just wait outside for 2 hours. So because of that, the stream was delayed, but I'm really glad that y'all still got the time to show up. I really appreciate it. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, because there's another stream. We've got the Type Racer mini event coming up at 3 p.m. CT. Because of that, we're going to end our stream a little bit early. So like I was saying, usually the technical streams are a little bit longer. They're 2 hours long, but because of the delay, we're going to be running the stream for just an hour. Don't worry at all. I spent the time on the bus and readjusted the script. So, like the PowerPoint presentation. So whatever code that I was going to do, I just like shortened it into an hour. So we're still going to cover all the same content, all the same code. We're just not going over like some of the fun, like frilly activities. If I have time, I'll definitely add them back in. But since it was 2 hours, cut down to 1 hour, I'm not probably going to have time. So, yeah. Yes, I did get back safely. Thank you. I'm well within my safe home. Yeah, that was funny. Actually, it wasn't funny. I was hot outside, but super grateful that y'all joined. I'm gonna get started. So, by the way, I'm Varshini. I'm a coach at Major League Hacking. Fun fact, I've moved 13 times throughout my life. Yeah, that's me. So we're going to talk a little bit about adding JavaScript into our code and into our existing HTML files. So yeah, we still have the second part. And no worries. Really glad that you watched it. I'm surprised I woke up for the second part. That was at 2 a.m. my time. So really surprised I woke up for that, but I'm glad I did. But I totally get that. Glad you watched it. Glad you made the time to watch it. So we're going to cover JavaScript today. So if you've been going along, I'm not sure what you're lost about. Please let me know what you're confused about. I can help you. Oh, you need to catch up. Okay. No worries. Yeah, let me pull up the document from yesterday that we were working on. So if you've watched our streams before, you know that we've been working on using like a Google document, and that's where I've been posting my code. So I'm going to post that link again. This is just where I'm going to have all my code, and this is super useful if you haven't been able to watch part 1 or part 2. You'll be able to watch part 3 this way. And you can follow along with part 3 even if you haven't watched part 1 and part 2, because on this link we've got all the code from yesterday's session, or not yesterday's session, like part 2 session. So I'm going to update that right now. Don't copy the code just yet. Sorry, I see some of y'all on the doc. Don't copy it. It's not updated. Let me fix that. Okay, that is the code. Okay, so I'm gonna get the document up. 1 second. Okay, so let me show you all the document. Let me screen share and I put that link in, so it's there for y'all as well. But here it is. So this is the document I'm talking about. By the way, if you can't get that link for some reason, here it is. It's going to be at the top of the document, so no worries. But this is the code. So this is all of the code we've been working on for part 1 and part 2. Super basic HTML and CSS combination. We're going to be adding JavaScript to that today. So if y'all weren't here for part 1 and part 2, totally no worries. Just copy that code and you're good to go. I would strongly recommend that you watch part 1 and part 2 because if something's not making sense, I'm not going to have time to go over it and explain that to you. But if you watch those videos, there'll be super detailed explanations that I wrote for y'all. So it's at 9 a.m. for me, but I had to wake up. Oh my gosh. I was waiting until 3 a.m. to watch the first part. Man, I appreciate the dedication. Thank you very much. I love seeing that y'all are interested in these streams and are finding value. So we're gonna get started. So I'm not gonna go into like a couple of like basic JavaScript rules just for the sake of time, but I wanted to just talk a little bit about like why we would add JavaScript in the first place. The reason is because right now your website is static. So we've been using HTML and CSS, and both of those languages are static. Basically, what that means is when you have your website, it is just singular. When you click on that website, it stays the same. It doesn't really change. And there's two differences. There's like static and then there's like a responsive website. And a responsive website is like you click a button or you do something like that and then like something happens, like another tab opens, it reloads, something fun and cool like that. So that's mainly why we're going to be using JavaScript to add some fun interaction into your website, and to add some cool stuff. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to add a button into your page, and that's going to be super cool. So definitely make sure you have VS Code downloaded. I've been saying that for the past couple of my streams, but no worries. If you didn't watch them or you just haven't had the chance to get VS Code downloaded, I totally get it. I'm going to put that chat. Oh, I should turn off the check-in link. By the way, sorry. Just like a little bit all over the place from the bus, but please make sure you check in at that link. It's at the bottom of the screen. Just like copy paste that link. It will help us a lot for getting points for you and also to see how many people are showing up to the session. So I'm gonna take that away now, but let me know if you need that later. This is the Visual Studio Code download link. So definitely make sure you click on that and download Visual Studio. I know that you can use basically any code editor that you want to use. Definitely feel free. The only reason why I say to use this one specifically is because it has an extension called Live Server, and that helps pull your code up live, like in real time. And when you change a part of your code in your VS Code or your editor, you don't have to run it in your terminal and like re-upload it every single time. You just save the file and the website automatically uploads, which is super cool. And that's why I recommend you download VS Code. So I'm gonna add a little bit of code to my previous like file, and I suggest y'all do the same. So if you've been coding along so far, you should have this in your code, but if not, totally no worries. Just copy and paste what's in that document into your VS Code and you'll have that for yourself. So I'm gonna screen share my VS Code and show y'all what I'm doing, and we'll code along together. So if this is your first time here, just know that usually we do like live demos and coding along. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. I like doing that just so y'all feel more engaged and more motivated to do the code with me. So I saw a sudden uptick in the amount of people watching. Hello. Nice to see y'all. Thank you for tuning in. We're just getting started. Definitely please make sure you reference that link. That's going to be our document link for all of the code and anything that you'll need from part 1 and part 2. So definitely hop on that document if you're just joining us now. I'll keep that up for a little bit. So I'm going to go back into my code. So this is exactly what's on that document. And we're going to add a real button to our web page. So like I was saying, you want to make your website interactive. JavaScript is the way to go, and like responsive, interactive, things like that. So you've got your head and you've got like your main text. This is where we put our CSS styling, and then we've got our body. So I'm going to put my button within the body. So I'll do it. I kind of want it right before the about me, but feel free to put it wherever you want. We're going to do button ID, and we're not gonna do what it autocorrects to. So I'm gonna call it a click button because that's literally what it is. And I'm gonna do click me because like click me, like fun text. And so I'll have that, and then I'm going to do paragraph, ID equals, and then I'm just going to do a message because that's the message that you want it to show. So, and then we've got our closing tag. So perfect. So if you're just joining us, those are the two lines that we are going to want for our button to start creating our button. So that's going to be under your body text. So you've got your head and then you've got your body, and this is where you want to put your body text. And then inside the specific tags for the script, we're going to go and put these tags down there as well. So give me 1 second. I think my computer is trying to reload on me. So 1 second. I'm going to try to turn that off really quick. I don't know why it's doing this to me. Okay. Crisis averted. My computer is not turning off. Yippee. So right here, we're gonna go down to our below, like very bottom, and in the body itself, we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom and right before that last body tag. So right here, we're gonna add in our script. So this is kind of where our JavaScript code it's gonna be running. So right before that last tag, we're gonna put it here. So right after that div, right before that tag, and I'm gonna put in a script. So what that does is that's going to get our JavaScript code up and running. So I'm going to indent that. I'm going to do tab, and then I'm going to align my closing script tag as well. So this is just like a general like welcome to JavaScript, just to show y'all like the console log. Can you please work on dark mode if possible? Yes. Okay, let me go. And color. Or I'm not sure. Wait, let me go search up how to turn on dark mode. Yeah, honestly, I promise I'm not a weirdo. I do also work out of dark mode. I just do like demos at hackathons, like for being a coach. And usually when you're doing demos, what is it, like the presentation screens are usually really, really light, or yeah, so dark mode doesn't show up. But I got you. Let me get that up. Okay. Nope, that's not it. What is it called? Man, I really don't know how to do this. Themes? Color theme. Aha. Light, dark. Aha. There you go. There you go. Okay, we're in dark mode now. Hello, Night Coder. No, I totally get it. I'm sorry. I know you're probably an IST, and I really appreciate you showing up to this stream, but hopefully that helps. Yeah, I'm gonna switch back to the code and hope. Oh my god, I love dark mode too. My eyes are happy as well. My eyes are like raw. So I'm gonna delete this. You don't need this anymore. This is just like a kind of a placeholder. But here inside the script tags, I'm gonna do let but btn. So like for button, and I'm gonna do document dot. It's actually like already got that fire. Nice. And then I'm also going to include my message as well. So I'm going to do let. Okay, it's got that too. Okay. If your computer is not auto-populating, mine is only auto-populating because I have GitHub Copilot downloaded. Very, very useful tool. I honestly need to stop. I need to turn it off for my streams because I keep doing this thing. But side note. So you're going to do let btn stands for button equals document.get element by ID, and then click button. So what we called it up there earlier. And same thing here, let message equals document.get element by ID message. So heads up, if you call these two things anything different, like you set their ID to any other name, you're going to need to use those names in the parentheses here, just in case you did. So Hopefully this looks familiar. If you know JavaScript, this is very similar. So we're going to do btn dot add event listener. So I know this sounds creepy, but an event listener is literally just like listening for an event to happen, and it's not like physically listening. It's just waiting for an action to happen. So you might see event listeners in like tags or something. Oh, hello. Yes, I can definitely show you the button code really quick. Here, actually, I'll just copy and paste it because I know some of y'all are jumping in a little bit late, so no worries at all. I'm gonna put it at the bottom here. I'll put it like I'm gonna do it after a horizontal line. There you go. But that is the button code. What I highlighted it right here. It's also on that Google Doc that I sent y'all earlier. Yes, yes, of course. Perfect, perfect. That's the button code. And make sure you follow those labels, otherwise you're going to have to rename them down here. So here we did btn dot add event listener. Again, if you're calling this something else, make sure you're aligning that add event listener. That event is going to be a click. So when some like a click happens, the computer registers a click, that's the event. And it's going to call this function. And I don't want to do all that. I'm just going to do something simple. And I'm just going to say like, thanks for clicking. Thanks for clicking. Yay. And make sure you're doing the semicolon because this is Java. And Java does need a semicolon. And it's showing a red because I didn't put end quotes. Why doesn't it? Man. I'm telling you, Java throws the biggest temper tantrums for no reason. Okay. Okay, it works. Perfect. Feel free to make that message as custom as you want. This is your website after all. I'm just doing like a baseline. You will see if you haven't been to the other parts of the streams, you will see that my website looks like absolutely horrible. And that's because I've just put like every possible CSS element, styling element known to man like on that website. So y'all could see all the different opportunities and different elements that you can put on your website. But you feel free to put as many and change and be as custom as you want. So now we're going to save it. Let me actually dispose of that really quick. If you've been watching the other parts, you should have the live server extension downloaded. If not, totally no worries. We're gonna hit this fourth icon. We're gonna go to live server. It's by Rithvik Day. Super solid, you know, that many downloads, like it's valid. Just go ahead and click download. It'll download instantly. You might have to restart your VS Code to get it working. And if that is the case, then just save your code and then reload the window so that you can get this. But I'm going to go ahead and there's two ways to open a file using the live extension. You have this button at the bottom that says go live. You can click on that, or you can right click on this and you can click open with live server. So feel free to do either. I'm just going to do go live because I like the way it like runs. It's fun. So we've got it up here. Let me screen share that with y'all and show you. By the way, if you have, I feel like I'm saying this a lot. This sentence is coming out of my mouth a lot. But if you haven't seen the other parts of the streams, I'm switching back and forth between a lot of screens because that's the way the like streaming service works. So there's going to be like a bit of a gap before you see something and I talk about something. So hello, Aquastar. I'm working in person. Yay! Oh my God, that's great. Really glad to hear that you're doing that as well. Definitely make sure you check out part 1 and part 2. We covered HTML and CSS, and hopefully we can add to your website. But I'm going to switch back to, oh my God, it's my face. This is my, okay, you can't see it. This is my website. I told you it's an eyesore. I might fix it. So this is the button that we made. I'm going to click it and boom, it says thanks for clicking. So your buttons can do a lot of different things. They can reroute to another link. It can be like click on my GitHub and it'll redirect to your GitHub, things like that. So your buttons are very unique. I'm not sure what you mean by assignment or activities. Typically streams, we kind of just like live code and I teach y'all stuff and you code with me. Not really like assignments or activities, like it's not homework, but I would love if y'all would code along with me and gain these skills with me. So hopefully that answered the question. But Yeah, that's how you code the button. Let me go back to VS Code and show y'all really quick. Mm-mm. Yeah. Oh, you can't see it. Okay, there you go. That is the code. Just in case you need it, feel free to modify it along. Um, And this way we can have a couple of different like buttons within our website, which I think is super cool. And you can also add like different buttons if you want to add various buttons, like, use a different ID. And then you can keep the same message because like that message is going to be the same thing. And then you would just have to do like BTN, like a different variable name. And you can do that. So um, feel free to add more buttons to your website after you would like. So one thing I wanted to emphasize, let me go back to the slides. I talked about no, I didn't. Okay, wait. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go with this. So, JavaScript runs after the page loads, so each like line by line. But it really is important where you put your script tag. So, like I was talking about, like putting the script at the very bottom of your code, like right before the last closing body tag, that's really important. You need to put it there and not in the head section because, like, if you do that and then you save and try to compile your code, there's going to be an error immediately, and that's because you want the script at the bottom of the page so that it reloads after all the content has already been displayed. And the reason for this is because the browser is reading your HTML file from top to bottom, and JavaScript can only touch things that already exist on the page. So that's kind of why I went in this order of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, because JavaScript can only build upon HTML. You can't just like have HTML and then just expect, or you can't have like a blank page and then just have JavaScript. Like you need to have HTML first. So that's kind of how JavaScript works in your browser, and that's why you need to do JavaScript at the bottom of your code. So we can also write variables. So if y'all have coded with Java before, I'm sure you've seen this. This is going to be a big refresher if you have coded with Java before. But let me go back to my code and we can code some more. So let me add that to the screen. This is takes so long. Okay, so we're back to the code, and we can store a lot of different information using variables. So again, you can like it's the same as typical types of JavaScript letters. You can use like console logs. So like this is not anything like specifically useful for this project itself, like in terms of your website. So I'm gonna show you all the Google Doc, just putting this on the Google Doc and you can implement it if you want to. Let me show you. Okay, we're back to the Google Doc. So what you can do is like you can log something in the console, and JavaScript will store that information using a variable. So I'm gonna let name, and then I'm gonna put my name. Feel free to do your own, and I'm gonna do like const. So const is a constant. This is something that doesn't change. It's like kind of static. So I'll do const, and I'll do like birth year, and I'm not putting my actual birth year because I don't want to dox myself. So I'm gonna put something insane like 1950. I'm not 1950. Yeah. So and then I have these two variables, and I'll do console.log, and I'll do name here. So it'll log my name to the console, and the same thing with console.log birth year. So it'll do the same thing. It'll log my birth year to the console. And you can write like different lines together. You can put like log, and that way you can create variables and then print that in the console. So again, this isn't really like super useful for your project, but this is just a fun thing to know. A lot of people will use this logic when they're making an app and they're trying to figure out where something's going wrong. They'll do like if this works, like console log print something, and then you can check the console log and you'll know what error was going on there. See a couple of be HTML, CSS. Yes, you're perfectly correct. That is true. So it's HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You're correct. HTML loads, then you've got CSS for design, JavaScript functionality. You've got it perfect. There you go. You summed up part 1 and part 2. Good job. Can a person use another language except Java? Will it work instead of it? I haven't tried much, but definitely feel free to do so. We're just doing JavaScript for now because that's the most reactive language, and it works very well with HTML. I'm not sure I don't think other languages have much functionality with HTML. So maybe just for now, JavaScript. Maybe in the future we can see if we can do other languages. Yeah, that's right. Can't we console log both the name and the birth year together? Mm, I don't think you can. I think you've got to do it in separate instances just because it's one variable. Like usually you can just print like with a comma, but I think because we're printing to the console, we should separate it into two separate lines. But like again, you're not implementing this anywhere in your code, so generally don't worry about it. This is just like a side note about something cool you can do with your console. So. I also wanted to talk about reusable code really quick. So you might have seen like the function variable, like function name. So functions let us package actions and reuse them whenever we want. So if you watched the video yesterday, you might have heard the HTML classes and being, or sorry, the CSS HTML. The CSS classes and being able to reuse those classes. So specifically, we made a couple of classes yesterday. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, we did like H2 class, and we were able to use that. So that way, we can put that in as a class and identify a specific tag for that and use HTML styling and just do it once, but then like be done with it. So that's super cool. And that's the way that you can do that. So that's something really useful about how to reuse your code. You can have your functions in. So we can define a function and we can run it, and then we can also run them with parameters. So this is just like general JavaScript, not really related to the website, but just general JavaScript because this is more JavaScript related. But like now a little bit going back to the website and more features that you can build on your website. So JavaScript listens for events, just like how we were doing the button click earlier, but it also listens for other events like button clicks, key presses, and things like that. So we can also add some more features to our website, and we can add in some more features, some reactive features that are related to JavaScript. So let me show you how we do that. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to add back our HTML. So we're going to do it in the same spot we did it before. Actually, I don't know where I did that. Oh yeah, it's right here. So we're going to do something else. This time we're going to do like a button that's going to be, click. Actually, we already did a button. So let me think about what else we can do. We can do a reset button. I think a reset button would be super cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to do button ID. So here we're going to put button ID. And again, this is the exact same thing we did before. And we're going to do reset button. So we already did like a click me button. So now we're going to do a reset button. And we're going to do reset. And we're going to do our closing tab. So does not look happy. What is wrong? Reset button. Oh, it's because I got an extra one. There you go. Perfect. So this is our reset button. Feel free to use whatever you want with it. And we're going to let reset button. And yeah, we're going to do the exact same thing. So we're actually going to want that down here, just like how we did that before. So right here, just like how we did it. We're going to let reset button equal document.getElementById, by ID. And then again, we're going to call that same name, reset button. And here we're going to do reset button. And yeah, we're going to add an event listener, just like it's suggesting we do. So we're going to add an event listener. Again, it's going to be click function. And instead of the context just being like empty, we're going to do waiting. So this is just going to be like a fun little reset button. It doesn't really have any main context or like any rhyme or reason behind it. It's just a fun little reset button. But feel free to add more functionality into your code, and I would love to see it. By the way, the reason why I keep like pushing y'all to add functionality into your code is because every session we do like a demo at the end. Probably not this session just because of like lack of time. Really sorry, guys. But we will be able to demo all of our projects in part 4, which is coming up in 2 hours. So either way, you will definitely get your projects demoed. So keep working on your projects, and we'll be able to get those projects demoed in part 4, and that's going to be really soon. So let me show y'all what the button looks like. Let me a little close to my face. So this is the web page. And see, we've got my click me, and then we've got the reset. So you see how the text is the same, so y'all can change that. I kind of like the way it is. It's like one button or two buttons, but one text. So you've got your click me, thanks for clicking, and then reset, and it waits to reset. So that's super cool. That's like some functionality from a button. But yeah, feel free to edit the button as you would like. I see some questions. Yeah, no worries. The MLHTs are usually given out at MLH hackathons. If you haven't been to one before, those are in-person coding competitions, and they're hosted globally. There's some in the United States, some in Canada, some in India, some in Mexico. There's a lot of different events that MLH sponsors. So definitely feel free to come in and go to those events. That's where the MLHTs are handed out. I'm not really sure what that is. I think that's an otter. Please expand if you have more questions. Yeah, Way is right. Definitely join an MLH hackathon. They're going to be announced, I think, on day 5. Mike Swift, our CEO, is going to be giving a keynote speech about the 2026 season. So definitely make sure you join in and watch that. He'll be announcing like the highlights of the season. Oh yeah. Where is CSS? Okay, could you expand a little bit more about like what you mean about where if you mean like where on the website, this is kind of the styling. So it's got like a fun little text, some colors, like this little card here, that's the CSS on the website. If you mean like where is the CSS code, it's interpersed throughout that document. Oh my god, we're back to my face. Let me show y'all really quick. Hopefully this is a little bit clearer, but the CSS and the HTML are kind of interspersed within each other, but they're all, so under head, we've got like style and all of the style is within, all of the CSS is within this like style block. So if you weren't here for yesterday's session, oh my god, I'm not hearing anything, I'm sorry. So if you weren't here for yesterday's session, that's where all of the CSS styling will be. And y'all can definitely feel free to click on that from the Google Doc that I shared earlier and get some more information about that. But yeah, okay. So we're going to go ahead and move back into the PowerPoint. So we talked a little bit about using JavaScript events and using like reset buttons. So hopefully that helped a little bit. And now we're going to talk about like the DOM. So we talked about the DOM a little bit yesterday. In relation to HTML, but just as a quick review, the DOM is a document object model, and it basically just treats an HTML like a tree structure. So you might have heard of trees before, but like, well, no, you've definitely heard of trees, but in relation to computer science, it's basically where each node is an object representing a part of the document. And that's all it is. It's just like a very simple concept, but it's very important. It's like a live version of your HTML that JavaScript can modify. So we can use it to add a couple of different like buttons, background, and things like that. So we can use the DOM to do manipulation with JavaScript as well. And we can also select and modify elements, and that is super duper useful. I see a question. Is it acceptable to have more than I wouldn't recommend it. You definitely can, but just for organization purposes, it's easier to put all of the script information within one file. So let me show you all really quick what the question is. So we've got our one script tag here. I definitely think it's a little bit more organization friendly to just have one script tab, just because like we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but it's definitely good to have all of your things organized and all of your sections organized. But yeah, feel free to do like multiple script tags in HTML. Sorry, I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm just like a little warm. But yes, you can have as many script tags as you would like within your HTML document. I like to just keep it within one. Like we could definitely split it up. Like maybe you want to separate this button and this button. So feel free to do that if you would like. I'm just going to keep it here for time's sake and organization's sake. But hopefully that answered your question. So now to talk a little bit more about selecting and modifying elements. So if you want to update a lot of things at once, we can use something called query selector. So let's go back to the code. I'm like switching back and forth, sorry. But we're going to select a lot of different elements at once, so that way you don't have to code it all at once. So we're going to go back to our section up here. Our button. So we have all of our specific code there, and I'm going to do like a paragraph class. So remember the P tag is a paragraph. So I'm going to call it, I'm going to do an equal sign. I'm going to call it a quote, and I'm going to do line 1. And this way we can select a lot of different things at once. So I'm going to do the exact same thing with line 2. So I'm just going to do 2 lines for now. Feel free to add more if you would like later. Let's see, modulating. I'm not sure if you mean like separation of concerns, like in terms of it's better to keep them in one or to not. Please expand. But yeah, modulating code I think is good. But we're going to go back to the script down here, and we're going to add some more to the JavaScript. So we had the quotes up here. We did like we quote line 1 and line 2. So we're going to do the exact same thing here. So I'm going to do let quotes equals document dot query select. Okay, it's already auto-populating that for me. Lovely. So you can see the difference here where right here we had button and we had message, and up here we had individual elements, but here we're just calling it the same quote class even if they're different lines, and we're just setting that together. Let quotes equals like the query selector for all. So what I'm going to do is quotes. Okay, it's querying that. Perfect. So for each quote, so quotes dot for each quote comma index. So that's the index that we are passing in for that specific line, and then we're going to actually I'm not going to do that. It's generating some other stuff. Okay, I think it wants that. Okay, I think we'll just keep that because it looks a little angry. But we're going to do quote.text content to get our text content for each quote and like what we want to display as our output for the quote. And we're going to do like, you can do whatever you want. I did like this is quote number and then index plus 1. And I think that's useful for just like displaying different quotes. Yeah. So that is one way that you can separate your different quotes, and you can experiment with different things. You can like change the font size. You can like make the font a little bit more bold or less bold. Experiment with a couple of different things, and make this project your own. So I'm going to save it, and we're going to go check out what it looks like over there. So perfect, we can see our quotes. This quote number 1, quote number 2. So if you added any other separate parts where you had the font weights or you changed the font size, that way you don't have to apply it specifically based on the quote. You can just do it like as a general overall query. So definitely feel free to do that. That's just another feature that you can add to your code. And we can also just make like a more interactive bio as well. So that's another thing that I wanted to go over with y'all. So this end website is kind of supposed to be like a personal portfolio, personal bio, things like that. So I want to make something super interactive and super fun and cool for y'all. So we're going to code like a quick little interactive sorry, quick little interactive bio section. Let me get that up. Sorry, guys. I think like the bus got to me. I'm just not feeling it. Okay, so we're back to our document and we're going to build our bio. So we've kind of already got this bio. You can see it in the website. So you've got like, hi, like this is me. Welcome to my portfolio page. You've got like an about me, your section, and your blog quote, as well as like an unordered list and things like that. So in the about me section, we're going to add some more stuff. And we're going to add like a bio title, like a click to read more type of thing, and add some more buttons to it. So I'm just going to add it pre-existing to what I have right now. Y'all feel free to do whatever you want. I will be like organizing this code a little bit better after the session. Things are just a little tight right now because I'm pushing it to an hour. But for part 4, the code will be neatly organized into sections with comments. So no worries at all. If you're getting like a tad bit confused, I will definitely fix that. So no worries. But I'm going to delete this about me section and I'm just going to put in a new about me section that we can make interactive with a couple of buttons. So we're going to do h2 id equals, I'm going to call it like my bio title. So this will be like my biography about section, and I'm going to do the text about me. So same thing as before, just like now it's an ID that we can reference using the JavaScript. So I'm going to do paragraph and I'm going to do ID. I'm going to do bio text here. So that's great. This is going to be like the text within my bio. And oh, it's kind of creepy that it has that about me, but we can put whatever we would like. But something I think would be really cool is instead of doing just like bio text and having that plain, we can do a little button that says like click to read more. So if you're ever doing like click tracking or anything like that, you can see some more clicks. I see some comments. Yes. Ways right here. You can definitely create separate JS and CSS files just to make it a little bit for clarity. Yeah, I am putting them in line just so everything is in that same file, because if they were different files, I'd have to like switch back and forth and like scroll a bit down. So try to make it a little bit easier. But for part 4, which is coming up very soon, I'm going to make it all a little bit more easy to understand. So hopefully you'll like the modularity there a little bit more. But we're going to do the bio tag. So again, everything I'm doing is completely optional. Don't feel like you have to do it. Feel free to customize it to your website as you like. I'm just giving y'all a couple of ideas for your website. So I'm going to do like click to read more, like ... and like draw them in, because when they see this, they're going to be like, oh, this is so cool. Like, what is this bio about? What are they drawing me into? So that's why I'm doing that. But I'm going to call this button ID. So this time, instead of doing like reset button or click button, I'm going to call it toggle button. Because that's what we're doing. We're toggling it, and I'm going to do show more. So that way your button says like show more, which is super cool. And we're not going to do all this, like it's getting excited over there. But again, we're going to do one more ID, and this time we're going to call it details. So this is going to be the details behind your bio. And instead of having the details within your bio in this bio text element here, we're going to put it within details. And we're going to do style here. And I'm going to do equals display none. Oh, just to get that styling up. And then you're going to put your actual code in after that quote. So I'm going to put like, I love to do technical screens. Feel free to put whatever you want. And I love, technical screens. I love to do technical screens. And that's going to be for the details. And you don't want like any style. You just want it to be displayed properly. So this is that preliminary kind of HTML code that you'll need to display this like hidden bio. And then we're going to go back into our JavaScript. And so this is, again, like our script that we've got here. And we've had this like let section. Don't worry, we'll clean it up a little bit. But I'm going to do let, and I'm going to use the same names that I used earlier. Again, just a heads up, you're going to need to change the names if you called it something differently up here. but I'm going to do let toggle button and using that same variable name, and I'm going to do document dot get element by ID, just like before, and I'm going to call it toggle button. So again, GitHub Copilot's like really coming in clutch for these time constraints. It's able to auto-populate everything. So I've got toggle button, and I've got it getting my element, and then I got details as well. So we're going back to those names that we called it earlier. So details and toggle button, which is perfect. So we've got it there. And then I'm going to add an event listener. So just like we've been doing, that's honestly the process for every button that you make and any event listener. So you've got like you're going to let it equal like a variable name, and you're going to get that element by the ID that you called it earlier. And then you're going to add an event listener. So I've just been doing click as the event listener, but you can always try something different as well if you would like. But I'm just going to use click for now. And so okay, we can just keep it like this, but feel free to edit it if you would like. But right now what it's doing is it's saying if the details of the style display are none, then it's going to display a block and it's going to show less. So this is going to be if you already have your bio up and ready to go, and then it's going to show less. Otherwise, it's going to show more, and that's because the details style display is none. So basically what this means is earlier up here, we set the toggle button, and then we said the ID was details, and the style was display none, meaning that when your details are up, this like I love to do technical streams detail, once this is up, the style will be set to display none. And when that's true, you want the toggle button to show less. Otherwise, you want it to show more and like actually show your text. So you can also add a couple more things to that. So you can add like an image that shows or hides. So instead of having like a native button, you can have an image kind of toggling that up and out. Or you could also just add another button that like changes the background color of the page or something, like a disco page. So every time you click on the page and click on that button, you can reload something new and change the color, which I think is cool. So now we're going to see what changes that made. So I'm going to save my file. Remember, like I was saying, it's always automatically updated, so I don't have to deploy anything new. Oh, there's my face, a little too close. Okay, and I'll show you all the intro page. So there's the About Me section again. It says click to read more. It's very mysterious. It's dragging your potential job interviewer, potential person that's looking at your profile in. You click show more. Oh, and then it says, I love to do technical streams. Yay. And then you can click show less again, and then it hides it, which is super duper cool. And that way you can add in some more stuff. Oh, also, it's showing this extra. Let me show y'all. Debugging in real life. You saw that extra quote that it had. Let me show you why it has that extra quote. So right here, I had this text, and then I added this quote on the outside. That's literally the only reason why it's got that. Doesn't need a quote for that. So I'm just gonna click save. Oh, not save as, shoot. I'm just gonna click save as normal. And that should be fixed on my website, and boom, it is fixed. Let me show you. So yeah, that's debugging live. If something is not showing up right on your website, make sure you fix it. Sometimes it's a little bit easy like that. Like that was an easy error to catch, but sometimes it's a little harder. And always make sure you debug. So I click show more. I love to do technical streams, and then I show less, and then it goes away. So I think that's super cool. That's something you can do for hidden as well. And that can be a really useful feature for like if you're trying to explain a project that you've done or explain a job experience that you have, you can like put this instead of click to read more, you could do like worked at like worked at Google, and then you can click show more, and then this will be your job description, and show less, and now it's just your job description. So it's like little fun things that you can do to enhance the uniqueness of your portfolio. We're gonna go back to slides now. And like I was saying, it's really important to debug and to go through common errors. So like I was saying, oh, sorry, I keep saying what I was saying, but In JavaScript, you always have to end the lines with a semicolon. That's just like kind of the notation. If you're like a Python coder, it's probably not the same. You're probably like a little sad about that. I definitely was when I switched from Python JavaScript, but that's just how it is. So always make sure you've got that semicolon at the end. And same thing about like functions in general. When you're naming functions, you have to make sure that you're defining them. Basically, what that means is like you can't just call a function and then not explain what that function does. Then the computer doesn't know what to do. So always make sure that you're reading through your code. Another thing, like I was talking to y'all before about console.log. So you can use console.log to debug. And that's really useful because, like I was saying, you might not be using it directly in your project, but when you're doing something, if something's not working properly, you can print to the console. So the computer is going through HTML and it's showing you what it thinks. But once you see the console log, you can see what it thinks and see like what the errors in that logic is. So that's super useful. And then also always just in general, check like spelling, syntax, and case sensitivity too. So actually, who was it? Yeah, off the wall. You predicted the next little section of my presentation. We're going to actually move in the JavaScript. Okay, actually, no, I skipped that. Sorry. We're going to move the JavaScript to a separate file just for modularity to keep our HTML clean and keep it easy to manage our code and reuse our code. So you got it on the nose, on the dot. So we're going to go back to the code. And I'm going to show you all how you can modulate your code. Modulate is definitely not a word. Modulate's the word. So this is our code. And yeah, no worries. Type racing is going to happen in 10 minutes. It's going to be on the Discord. I think Quinn is running type racing, and Quinn is going to have it up on Discord. Usually the mini events are run on Discord. I think it's the mini events voice channel. So I'll wrap up in the next 5 minutes so y'all can go and take a break with Quinn. So let me just show you all this really quick, and then you can head out. So thank you for paying attention so far. I'm here going to create a new file. So I'm going to do file, I'm going to do new file, and I'm just going to call this script.js. Feel free to call it whatever you would like. I'm just going to create it in that same folder that I've got, and I'm just going to copy and paste my JavaScript code into my script.js file instead of keeping it in this HTML file. And that is super useful because then you can modulate your code and keep it. Oh, I keep like double clicking on my computer and it's opening up the dictionary. Man. Sorry. See, this is why I like don't. This super long file is getting to me. Okay, there you go. We copy their script, and so here you don't have to do script, and you can delete that. Oh, sorry, actually, I take that back. So instead of the script tags, instead of that, we're going to replace our HTML file. So we'll delete the script, and we're going to go in and we're going to do script, and we're going to do src. So that's just like source code. So you're saying that like you need JavaScript to run this index.html file. Where's the JavaScript? Not in this file. It's going to be in script.js. So that's exactly what you're going to do. Remember, if you called your file something different, you're going to want to change that name here. So do you see how it like got a little line under it? That's because now we have a script.js file. So let me get rid of all this. And there you go. And we're going to save all these files. And don't we use link to connect different files? You can use link, but I'm just doing src for now because it's a little bit more native, and you can get it within the HTML file, but that might be another alternative route. I will definitely check that out and let you know. So we're going to try that one more time, and let me go back. Sorry. So I saved the changes into the file, and now let's see if that works for the website. So, like I was saying, and also like Off the Wall was saying, it is really nice to have your code modulated and in little modules and have it separated. So, again, it's doing the exact same thing. There's our JavaScript. All of our buttons work perfectly, and our text works the same too. So it does work. That's great. Even if you separate it into a different file, like how I did. That way you can have your JavaScript in a separate file. And people will do the same for CSS as well. So that's actually quick jump sneak peek into the next part of part 4. We're going to be separating it into a couple of different files and making it really easy to read. So yeah, I'm going to wrap up just so y'all can go ahead and hop on over to Quinn. But thank y'all for paying attention. That's just kind of like a quick overview of JavaScript. And now you know how to like write and store variables, use the console to debug, build these functions, handle clicks and other user events, and then just like have basic interactivity, which is super cool. So these are just like random next steps that the presentation slides generator created. Don't worry about all that, but I wanted to highlight that next we do have our Type Racer mini event coming up with Quinn in the Discord mini event voice channel. And also let me get the feedback link up. After Quinn's Type Racer event, you've got me again, and we're going to have my part 4 stream, which is going to be the last part. Super exciting. The intro to web development tech stream will be over after that, but no worries. I'm still here if you have any questions, but make sure you tune in. I don't know what time zone y'all are in, but it will be at 4 p.m. CT. You might want to do like 4 p.m. CT to IST to EST, and Google will tell you what time that is for you. But that's just 2 hours from now. So right after Quinn's event ends, just hop back on over to Twitch or YouTube, and I'll be running part 4, and I will not be on a bus. So this time I will be on time, and we will have our full 2 hours together. So you can see that I've highlighted the feedback link. So definitely make sure you fill that out. Please give me some feedback. I would love your feedback. Give us feedback about Global Hack Week in general, and also in general about this stream. We use your feedback to help us improve the streams and to help us improve Global Hack Week as well. So I'll stick around for a couple of questions, but that is the formal end of this presentation. Yeah, I'll just leave it at questions. So if you have any questions, I'll stick around for a bit. I do see some tags. Ooh, yes, thank you, thank you. I'm really glad it was super fun. Please come back for part 4. 2 a.m. No, oh my God. See, this is why I did that stream. This is why I did part 2 a little bit earlier today, so that those of y'all, I'm assuming IST or somewhere else, could have some more streams in your local time. But 12 a.m. Oh my gosh. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Definitely make sure you get that check-in link. Actually, let me pull that up again. Make sure that you've checked in. You've stayed till the absolute end. So make sure that you check in. That is not the right one. This one. Make sure that you check in at that link. Get your points for coming to this event. You stay till the end, and you worked really hard. So make sure you check in. A fun fact to select a section, you can go to script tag on the side and select it too. Wow. Okay, that is cool. Yeah, definitely try that. Off the Wall has given us a good suggestion there. But make sure y'all fill out the feedback link. Thank you so much for watching this stream and for dealing with me through my time difficulty issues. Thankfully, I was able to squeeze all the content into an hour, so that's great. But hopefully that was useful for you. Feel free to hop off, stay on if you have any questions or just like want to talk to me through the chat. But definitely go and join Quinn for the Type Racer mini event. It'll be super fun, and you get to engage with other community members and take a little break from all these technical streams. So yes, I can post the check-in link. It's actually like, I don't know if you can see it. It's like scrolling on the bottom. But I got you. Don't even worry about it. It's like on the blue, the teal bottom event scroller thing. I don't know. But I got Insta Emily Janaya. There you go. This is the check-in link. please check in at that link. It's like a little late to be checking in, but better late than never. So please get that check-in done. And there's 2 minutes left, so I'm going to be gone in 2 minutes. Feel free to hop off at any time, but thank you all so much for your time. And hopefully I see you in part 4 coming up in an hour. If not, make sure you catch that video later. But yeah, I'll just hang around for a little bit until 3, see if anybody needs anything. But yeah. Alright, I can't get that to you, so hopefully you get that just for yourself soon. Y'all got the 30 seconds left if you have any questions to ask. Feel free, otherwise I will hop off once it hits 3 so you can go hang out with Quinn. Okay, it's 3 o'clock. I'm gonna go hop off so you can hang out with Quinn. Bye, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, there you go, Ringo. You have to improve your website so you can demo in just an hour. So definitely make sure you're improving your website while you're hanging out with Quinn. But bye, y'all. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you in an hour. Bye.